Jalen Hurts, he's got major intentions for 2023. If you don't know what I'm talking about the Sports Illustrated feature on Jalen Hurts that was released this week. Man, it's intense. If you're not ready to run through a brick wall for Jalen Hurts, I don't know what to tell you. We're talking Eagles today, quarterback play today, maybe a little Sixers today, doubtfully any Phillies today. But hey, whatever you want to talk about, we got you. Trending in the AM, Philadelphia Sports Network. We're live, 30 seconds. And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM right here on Philadelphia Sports Network. We're live, Facebook, YouTube, X. You know the drill. Like, share, retweet, follow, comment, turn those notifications on. You know what to do. You know what we do here every single morning, guys. We talk Philly sports. We talk whatever's trending, sports-wise, and we let your opinions shine because that is what this show is all about, you guys and your opinions. I'm your host, Phil Stiefel. You can find me on Twitter at Bearded Knowledge, and like I say right here, where your opinions actually matter. We got lots to talk about today, but we got the normal crew already chiming in. Good morning, Tyrone. We got Mad Chatter making dumbass comments right from the get-go. We got K1 talking baseball. That's why I said I saw this come in before I clicked go live. I'm like, well, probably won't talk baseball. It's not boring. I will say that. If you didn't see Bryce Harper's inside the park home run last night and did not find that entertaining, then I don't know what to tell you. Because that was entertaining last night. The inside the park home run with the perfect pose. He definitely had the perfect pose. And baseball is not a snooze fest. But anyway, I want to talk quarterbacks a little bit. Jalen Hurts a little bit. I don't know if you guys read the Jalen Hurts feature on Sports Illustrated yesterday. I saw it get dropped yesterday. I don't know if it got dropped sooner than that. I saw it yesterday. I read it yesterday. And let me tell you something. I planned on spending the start of today's show talking Tanner McKee versus Marcus Mariota a little bit more. But then I read this feature article on Jalen Hurts. And yes, I'm a Jalen Hurts over-the-top supporter. There's no doubt that I've been behind Jalen Hurts since day one. I've been a fan of Jalen Hurts since the day we drafted him. Even though I was already a Carson Wentz fan, I was top tier on Jalen Hurts. I was ready to roll for Jalen Hurts. The guy just has it. Tyrone, we're going to dive into some of it today, but I won't be able to fully give it its just due by just talking about it. I definitely, it'll take you 5-10 minutes to read through it. So it's a pretty lengthy article about him going back to school, finishing, getting his master's degree this summer, the work on hiring his agent and his contract extension, just what makes the man tick. I don't even know, K1, if I could be considered a stan of Jalen Hurts because, like, I've been supporting the guy since he got benched at Alabama. I was still watching college football when he was a freshman at Alabama. Like, I don't watch much college sports anymore. I won't deny that. When it's time to talk college football, I bring in experts because I just don't know. I don't watch it enough. There's only so much time in a day when you're hosting shows, when you're talking sports, and there's just so much time. So college football, college basketball is taking a back seat to me. But when you read this article and the work that went into making Jalen Hurts who he is now, I mean, I wrote down some quotes from the article, but not to turn the conversation to baseball because that's not what I'm doing. But Albert Pujols, who used to be known as the machine for the St. Louis Cardinals, Jalen Hurts is a freaking machine. This dude, this cat, has every second of every day planned out to a T. This man knows exactly what he's doing. Today is Tuesday, August 22nd. We've got the last joint practice with the COlts today. We got our final I bet you he knows what he's doing on Saturday at 11:23 right now. Because he has planned out every moment of every day so well to make sure he is the best version of Jalen Hurts he can be. I mean, the quotes when he makes these cliche quotes, rent is due and whatnot. They're not cliche quotes to him. Like when he talks about purpose and being thorough and deliberate and precise, that's his code. That's his mantra. And you see it come through in this article when they talk to his dad, when they talk to his agent, when they talk to former players and coaches and people that have been around him. He is so robotic, schedules everything down to a T. Seems like the ultimate gym rat. And he does, but that second part of it, he is self-driven. Like, I didn't know. When he started playing football as a kid, he wasn't a quarterback at first. He tried defensive tackle, linebacker. I forget all the different. There's like 3 or 4 positions that he started at. But then there was a need, and his dad said, yo, let's just put you out at quarterback. We need somebody today. And then the rest is history. He is so self-driven to be the best person he can be. Not just the best quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles, but to be the best person he can be. He goes out and gets his master's degree. And why? I mean, if he went and got his master's degree this offseason or did not, he still would have signed the $250 million contract. He'd still be another MVP caliber player. He'd still be the front runner to win the NFC again. But he wanted to learn more. He wanted to be a better person. And why did he do it? So he could be a better teammate and be a better leader. That's his words, not mine. I mean, the accountability and leadership, the purpose, the drive. Like, we joke on this show all the time that this Eagles team, the way they're set up from Howie Roseman, and there's a lot of other things on the docket. This is not just going to be a Jalen Hurts, love fest today. Jalen Carter, I have something I want to talk about. I want to talk about the backup quarterbacks. We could talk about Jonathan Taylor. Lots I want to talk about today. But I want to focus on this Jalen Hurts piece to start. And we always say that this team is destined to win year after year right now. This team, if it doesn't make 4 Super Bowls in the next 7 years, we always say that, that would be a disappointment. If we don't win multiple Super Bowls with Jalen Hurts, it's going to be a disappointment. It's because, as Tyrone says, he is so self-driven, not just for himself, but for his teammates. He really lives for his teammates and his team. Fun fact, Foles in Philly. No. We don't need him. What is up, Drew? How you doing this morning? Hurts really pushing for Sermon to make it. They were teammates at Oklahoma. That's interesting. That is very possible, K1. And I would have said he was making this team before that last preseason game. So I hope he's available for the joint practice today. I hope he's available for the preseason game. Because I think Trey Sermon has slightly dipped below making this roster at this point. And it's not because I think they're keeping Rashad Penny. Remember, they've kept 3 running backs the last 3 years only. So it might just be Swift, Scott, and Gainwell, and then Trey Sermon goes to the practice squad. It very well may be that way. Jalen Hurts, Jim, Mahomes, double Jim. Yeah, well, we know you're not a fan of your leader right now. You're jealous, man, Chatter, of what we have in Jalen Hurts. He believes in himself, his purpose, in his work. Abso-freaking-lutely. He believes himself because he knows that he is going to work his tail off. Every weakness. What was exposed after we lost that playoff game to the Buccaneers in 2021? He can't roll to his left and throw. So they call, I didn't write it down, they call the quarterback guru whisper training camp place. And the guy's like, look, I don't have room for more clients right now. I'm booked solid. But I'll talk to Jalen on the phone. Just to help him out a little bit, on a one-on-one interview. And that phone call lasted over 50 minutes. And all of a sudden, the quarterback whisperer is working with Jalen Hurts because he heard the drive and desire and the need for Jalen Hurts to be better. Shane Steichen gets his claws in Jalen Hurts after the 2020 rookie season and works tirelessly, not just to design an offense around Jalen Hurts, but to help Jalen Hurts maximize his talents and to point out what he needs to do to be better. he needed a second wide receiver. All right. I don't want to take away the fact that he does have two elite wide receivers either. But he knows how to. I wouldn't doubt that if Jalen Hurts didn't have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, he'd still be an elite quarterback. Maybe he doesn't put up MVP numbers, but the drive and the want and the fight and the work ethic to be the best, we'll see. That and what's funny is the drive and the work ethic is not something you teach. You either have the drive and work ethic or you don't. You either want to be the best or you don't. I want to be the best morning show. That's why I get up every single morning. That's why I spend countless hours a day researching and trying to come up with topics and angles to keep this show fresh. That's why I like I said, I don't do anything. My days and weeks revolve around how to make this show better. And that's what Jalen Hurts does. He works tirelessly. Now, I do have a negative about it. I'm going to get into it in a second. Would the PSB should a bed thing for Sermon? I think they'll need to have a body they can count on with Swift and Penny in front of him. Exactly. You can't, so they've kept 3 running backs for the last 3 years. But now with Swift, if they only keep 1 and Swift goes down, that means all you've got is Gainwell and Scott. So that might be the only reason why they keep 4 this year, because Swift is an injury-prone guy. And yeah, but see, the thing is, and you say this, and he might make pushes for certain players. But Jalen Hurts makes mention multiple times in this article that it's not his decision who to bring in. He doesn't want to make those decisions. That is Howie's job. He has faith and trust in Howie to do what's best for the organization. What he needs to do is focus on being the best quarterback and leader of his team. And he said he doesn't want. I like blue, and we were mixing it up yesterday. I want blue to be the core color of the morning show. Blue is my favorite color. And I think when you turn it to green, people don't notice the chat because green's a dull color. Blue, people notice the ticker. They do. Unless Brady or Mahomes, you need 2 weapons. He got the Eagles to the playoffs in 2021 as a lesser of a quarterback with only 1 weapon in Devontae Smith. So he still had Jalen Reagor, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, and guys like that on the roster in 2021, and he got us to the playoffs. So don't take that away from him. Watching some film on Reagor, he was terrible. Even limited snap. Dude, Jalen Reagor, I don't even know. Why are we even bringing Jalen Reagor into the conversation? We don't need to. Phil, you inspire. Hey, look, if I can inspire one person, hey, that's great. That'll make me a happy person, even if it's sarcasm. Jalen could never be the arm talent that Justin Fields is. Are we already going there today, Marshawn? Are we all? Dude, we're only 13 minutes in. Do we really want to go there yet? I don't know if I'm ready for that just yet. I do want to bring up a negative, but I want to roll through some of these. I think the MJ comps are wrong. Jalen, well, see, that's the thing now. In the article, several paragraphs dive into the fact that he spoke with Michael Jordan in this offseason at length. He dove into stories on Kobe Bryant changing from who he was to who he became. He spoke with Michael Jordan when you became the best and you got your big contracts, and when everything started to come together for you. How did you stay there? And how did you avoid the problems and pitfalls of stars? And Michael Jordan coached him. And look, you got to trim your inner circle. You got to stay focused on what is important to you. The comps aren't the same. I agree. He's more of a Mamba mentality Kobe. But learning from the GOAT, learning from Michael Jordan is helping him. Now, I hope Michael Jordan also told him some other things. Thank you. I appreciate that. Fields got no weapons now. He still has no weapons. I have purpose before everyone had opinion. I mean, it's a perfect quote. What is up, mister? How you doing? Blue is color of a kind soul. I didn't know that, but that is my color. Green is the color of an intellectual. Wow. Well, I'm neither a beautiful soul, or intellectual. What is up, everybody jumping in here now? All right, caught up on it. I want to bring up a negative part of this article. and this was not discussed in the article. There is something that came into my mind when I read this article at length, and then I perused it a second time because I was looking for something. And something worries me. Not this year, not next year, probably. Does Jalen Hurts have any fun? Is Jalen Hurts taking any time to enjoy the fruits of his labor, enjoy the success that is becoming of him? He looks, when he's doing photo ops and he's doing these commercials, he looks like he's having fun. And maybe part of it is he likes to keep his personal life private. We barely know he's got a girlfriend. He keeps it very private. So maybe he's just being the anti-James Harden and not promoting what he does for fun. But I worry about a guy that's so regimentally driven, so robotic about his day-to-day operations, so focused on winning a title that he's 25. Is there any room or for discussion that maybe he burns himself out because he's not enjoying himself? Now, again, he might be enjoying himself and he's just not promoting it, and we're just not seeing it, and he works tirelessly to keep his personal life private. Hell, he could be married right now and we wouldn't know it. He could have 3 kids right now and we wouldn't know it. He could be at the club right now and we wouldn't know it. But I worry, just give us a little glimpse into the other side of Jalen Hurts. Let me know. Yeah, when I get done work, I do go home and kick my shoes off and put a stupid Netflix movie on. Or I do go and like to do this. Or like, we don't know anything about Jalen Hurts outside of being the football player and the purposely driven person. How does Chris Sim have credentials? I don't know. How to half the people? Look, I want to get on a side. I want to get on a side tangent about the media in a second, but we'll get to that in a minute. An agenda. It's the ESPN takeover. Color blue has purpose before. Yeah, that is for sure. Sims. I'll never forget that. For as long as I'm talking on a microphone, I will always make mention to Chris Munn or Kelly. It's Kellen Mund and Chris Sims. Kellen Mund isn't even a wide receiver, a quarterback 3. Not at all. I super respect Hurts for not flaunting his personal life. That's fair. I think that's a fair comment. When he caught the ball on the sideline, he looked like he had plenty of fun. It's true. It's really weird. Like, I'm not trying to find a negative. I'm not. I'm just trying to find, like, people say I'm too over the top confident in Jalen Hurts. So maybe I'm digging for something that's not there. Another one of Jalen's greatest hits is now is not the time to reflect. It's a great point. Kobe Bryant didn't party at later and early in his career. He got into some issues and whatnot, immaturity. And that's what's so special about Jalen Hurts. His maturity level is beyond years right now. He's like 26 years old right now. And he acts and carries himself like a 35-year-old veteran. Somebody that's been around the block 100 times. Someone's been there, done that. Like, there's no flaw. Like, I almost like he's almost too perfect. Like, reading this article, it's like he's too perfect. And I want to find some. Like, I went from being super stan of Jalen Hurts to, is there something? Is there a closet that I got to see? He got over 200 and super miles. A real man does not flaunt it. Teach Josh Allen about respect. Some people find happiness in the work. They keep the main thing. Look, I find happiness in my work, running my pizza shop. Well, sometimes. I find happiness in doing this every single day. But see, the thing is, like, my pizza shop's my business. That's what makes the money. That's what pays the bills. That's what, that was the life I chose. And I'm passionate about being a successful businessman. And then I have this, which is where I find extra happiness. It's my yin and my yang. It's my counterbalance. So that I'm not all pizza shop all the time. I've got this. I've got my dogs, my wife. I've got travel when I have the opportunity to. I find a way to balance all different things. If you follow me on Twitter, you see sometimes some of the other things I'm interested in. We don't know anything about Jalen Hurts other than the fact that he just wants to play football all the time, work on football all the time, be in the gym all the time. I just hope he's finding a fair counterbalance so that someday he's not burned out too soon. No one knows the inner lives. Well, we do know the inner lives of some of them. We know the inner lives of James Harden. We used to know too much about the inner lives of Joel Embiid. We know a little bit about Bryce Harper. We knew about Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz would go out hunting in his spare time. That was his outlet. Every athlete, every star, every celebrity, every person, period, needs an outlet. And I hope he's got one. That was the only, I would have liked to have seen a piece of the article. Well, what do you do to have your release, to have your moment where you're just not thinking football for 1 second? What does he do? Maybe it's music. There's a picture in the article of him at a record store going through albums. Maybe music is his release. I don't know. Take down the Harden and Embiid jerseys. They're up there, but you can't see them. You can't see them. And don't group Embiid with Harden. Big difference between keeping the main thing. The main thing is amazing. I use Jalenisms at work. I want to be more like Jalen Hurts. I do. Most 26-year-olds out just trying to shop and night cakes. Yeah, exactly. But Jalen Hurts is a little different than that. Yeah, exactly. So his break from football was going out and getting his master's degree in human services or human relations or something like that. I bring you happiness. Yeah, there's sarcasm for you. We knew AI was out partying way before social media. Yeah, imagine what AI's reputation would be like in Philly if social media was around in the prime AI years outside of AOL. Like, just imagine if Twitter or Instagram or TikTok or Snapchat was around. What would Allen Iverson's reputation have been like? Would he have been another James Harden to an extent? Carson Wentz hunting is showing like he's a common. Yeah, see, I'm not a hunter. I don't get the hunting thing. It's too boring for me. Jalen has business opportunities to keep him occupied. We just don't get to see it. Nicole is perfect for that. She lines it up. He knocks it down. His relationship with his agent, his father, and his girlfriend, like that, they dive deep into it. And his agent, took a shot in the dark, sent him a DM on Instagram, which is crazy. Slide into someone's DMs. You single people, you might do that. But she did it as an agent and he said, go talk to my dad. And his dad interviewed her for hours, and she was sick as can be. And they dived deep into that. When he was negotiating his extension this offseason, he's like, look, this is what's important to me. I want to be paid what's fair, but I also want to make sure the team has money left to build a Super Bowl roster. Go get it done. And don't come back to me until the deal is ready to be signed. And that's what his agent did. Look, deal's almost done. Do you want to peruse it? I trust you. All right, done. That relationship between player and agent, and then he's got his girlfriend keeping him grounded. He's got his father with the coaching attitude to keep him motivated. That circle there, and that's something he said he learned from Michael Jordan when he met and spoke multiple times at length with Michael Jordan this summer, is that keep your inner circle tighter now that you're where you're at. That way you could stay focused on what your goals are. I wonder what he's got rolling into. I feel like Jalen isn't just the typical person just listening to modern music. I bet you Jalen's got quite the music collection and quite the music, list of things he listens to. I bet you Jalen's a lot like me. If you go and look at my alerts on my Sirius XM in my car, it might pop up Tupac. It might pop up Eminem. It might pop up Smokey Robinson. It might pop up Cherry Poppin' Daddies. It might pop up Billy Joel. You never know what's going to pop up on my alerts. It might pop up In Excess. You never know. And that's what I bet you Jalen is. I bet you he'll surprise you. Never tearing down the jerseys. Never. They just might get rearranged. Good morning, Eric. How you doing this morning? Jalen Hurts is a winner. Let him win. If I was 25 again, I'd do exactly what he's doing now. except you probably didn't have the football talent, mister, to do what he was doing. Or we wouldn't be here. We'd all be doing what he's doing if we had the athleticism that he does. They would have had to carry AI in a body bag before he creps. I love it. That's right. Always, my man. I bet Jalen Hurts is a Fleetwood Mac guy. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Look. It's really nice to hear all the quotes from him. It's really nice to see that we've just got, with all the drama that swirls around Philadelphia, sports, athletics, the athletes and the stars of Philadelphia, it's really nice to see how grounded Jalen Hurts is. Singularly focused. Money is nice, championships is better. When the Super Bowl ended, and he dove deep into this a little bit in the article, when the Super Bowl ended, and he went into the locker room and addressed the team and said, "It was my fault we lost the Super Bowl. I am taking blame, and I will be better." And then someone had to pull him aside and say, "Yo, you're the reason we got here and almost won it." You know, he's like, "I know, but it was my fault." And the guy says, "We'll be back because of you." And he said, "Effing right." That singular focus, that leadership, and I'll say it for the 1 millionth time, those intangibles that he brings. It's just such a breath of fresh air in Philadelphia, considering we'd had so much drama. I'm 42 years old. I'll be 43 later this year. In my lifetime, so much drama from the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and today. It's so nice to have somebody so singular focused on no drama at all. Mariota listens to Celine Dion. Oh, man. Okay, let's run with that theme. Will Jalen go back to Quez given some of his drops? MJ went to Kerr in the clutch and it paid off. It's interesting. It's a great analogy right there. Great thing to bring up. I mean, Jalen Hurts probably took the blame for Quez's drops. Probably said something along the lines, "It was my fault. I didn't put it in the right spot." The comments today are hilarious. Money and ice, championships is better is something I can never say in this economy. Look, it's easy to say that when you're making $250 million. When you sign a $250 million contract and 110 of it is written in a check up front to you, it's very easy to say that. I always say to people, Marshawn, that people that say money doesn't buy happiness were never broke. Because money doesn't buy happiness, but it sure as hell makes life a hell of a lot easier to be happy in. So I'm just going to leave that there because, I've been on the opposite end of the equation. So, it is what it is. Did I play Donkey Kong? No. Donkey Kong's overrated. What is up, Anthony? How you doing? But anyway, this article, I highly recommend. Like I always promote, make sure you read all the articles on Philadelphia Sports Network, phillysportsnetwork.com. Great writers, great pieces, recaps, opinions, everything on there. The team is great. But I'm going to recommend everybody goes and reads this Jalen Hurts piece on Sports Illustrated because I think it's a very important to really get a full grasp of how invested Jalen Hurts is in the success of the Philadelphia Eagles and into the success of himself. This is not just because he's in Philadelphia. Wherever Jalen Hurts got drafted before the 2020 season, he would have been the same person anywhere. And I kind of feel like, to an extent, he would have been successful. Maybe not to the lengths he is here, because some of it's got to be given to the people put around him here in Philly. But he would have been successful anywhere he went. Who's been some of the worst franchises in the last couple years? He would have been better. I'd like to know how Jalen invested that guarantee. I would love to know. Because I just followed right in his footsteps. $50,000, $1,000 bills is $50 million. Great math. Imagine Jalen saying, "It was my fault, Quez. You let the ground tackle you on that fumble." But that's the kind of guy Jalen Hurts is. Jalen Hurts is going to go to Quez and be like, "Yo, bro, you got it next time, man." That's just who he is. Jalen Hurts is not going to let his teammates ever get down on themselves. The only person is get down on him. Let him. He's got the broad shoulders. When was the last time we had the face of the league on our team? Bigger than that, he will be and doesn't. I'm trying to think, when is any Philadelphia? I mean, Bryce Harper is in the top 5 or 7 faces of baseball. Joel Embiid is top 5 or 7 faces of basketball. Maybe Allen Iverson had a hot minute being the face of basketball. Maybe. I'm thinking back to the 80s and 90s. None of the 93 Phillies were the face of baseball. Charles Barkley was during the Michael Jordan era, so he wasn't the face of basketball. The Eagles, Carson Wentz wasn't. McNabb wasn't. And I don't want to get off tangent, Tyrone, because I think you make a great point here. But I don't think the NFL wants him to be. There's too many people that don't want him to be the face of the NFL. And I think that's a shame. Because I think he's the perfect face of the NFL because of this article in the Drive. He's someone kids could look up to be better people. He's somebody that dads right now could go to their kids and be like, guys, be like Jalen Hurts. This is how you become successful, by having a drive, whether you want to be an athlete, a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, whatever. Have the same work ethic and mentality as Jalen Hurts, and look what you can become. And so he should be the face. He should be the face of sports, period, at this point. I don't have an SI subscription. It was on, someone shared it online. If you go to my Twitter page, K1, yesterday at some point I shared the link out. It was a quote tweet of the guy that wrote it. So you don't have to have a subscription to read the article. At least you didn't yesterday. What is up, Mitchie? Stealing my man Cole last night on your show. Mariota is a Macy Gray guy. K1 was reading Sports. I used to read Sports Illustrated for Kids back in the early 90s. Loved the Sports Illustrated for Kids magazine. Marcy Macy Gray, that's the same. I haven't heard that name in a long time either. Yeah. Speaking of hot, speaking of drunk, Lindros, was he ever the face of hockey? I don't know if he was truly the face of hockey. And I don't think Allen Iverson was truly the face of the NBA. I don't. He was up there. He was one of the main guys. Lindros was one of the top guys promoted. But I don't know if Lindros and Iverson were the face of the leagues. I don't think so. The head coach looks up to... Honestly, that is not the worst comment right there. Like, everybody wants... It's almost like Jalen Hurts is Nick Sirianni's boss to an extent. That is right. Great. Yeah, I'm glad to have you back in the comments today. Yeah, maybe Iverson's MVP year, that 1 year. But Jalen Hurts is set up to be the face of the NFL for ages. Now, I will say Iverson might not have been the face of the NBA, but he influenced more kids and influenced more people than anybody else in his era. Every kid wanted to be like Allen Iverson. He wasn't promoted as much as he could have been, but he changed so much culturally in basketball. So he had that going. Lindros, sorry, I can't get behind the Lindros part of it. But Jalen Hurts is the face, or could be, or should be, the person that the NFL should be gearing all their focus around. Because there are, at this point, we have not found any weaknesses. And real quick, let's take a quick pause in the show for a minute here. We're 33 minutes in. We got 16 likes on YouTube, 3 on Facebook. Pound that like button. Likes help the algorithm. I'd greatly appreciate that. I'm not concerned about, you can put them on the cover of SI, Madden, and anything you want. Jalen Hurts is just not going to let it bother. And I don't believe in curses anyway. Maybe some bad luck, some coincidences, but that's it. Zero concern. Did you hear him? I did not, but I know Dwayne Wade became who he was because of Allen Iverson. I know Dwayne Wade was that. There's a lot of people that were influenced, wanted to be basketball players because of Allen Iverson. They changed the way they dressed, they did their hair, the way they acted, the way they played on the court. Everybody wanted to have a crossover. just like AI. I still remember where I was in my basement with my brother, maybe my living room, and we saw Allen Iverson cross up Michael Jordan his rookie year, and we looked at each other. We're like, "Shit, we're winning a title." That moment, we were hooked on Allen Iverson. He made Michael Jordan, who's one of the greatest who is the greatest basketball player of all time, and doesn't get the credit on how great defensively Michael Jordan is. Michael Jordan was a great defensive basketball player. Let me put that out there. And he looked silly versus Allen Iverson's crossover on that one moment there. It's interesting. It's an interesting conversation. Nobody cares about SI anymore. The curse has transferred to Madden. Yeah, I mean, I don't believe in those kind of, even the Madden curse. I don't care. It doesn't do anything for me. Not like, what was it, Josh Allen's this year on the cover? Like, I'm not worried. Josh Allen still stinks anyway. Just kidding. Crossover. I want to. Everybody wanted court. Like, I mean, I got one braid once in my hair, just like one little tiny hair. I'm just kidding. I did actually do it once, but it wasn't because I Allen Iverson. But Allen Iverson influenced. Just imagine. Somehow we're on to Allen Iverson here instead of Jalen Hurts. Just imagine if Allen Iverson went to the gym once, just once, his entire career, just once. He would have been 10 times better than he already was. I mean, Allen Iverson changed so much. Now, Kobe Bryant had the Mamba mentality and work ethic, and Jalen Hurts more resonates with that instead of hanging out with the TGI Fridays, dropping $100,000 every single Friday night, like Allen Iverson would do. Just like Allen Iverson, all the money in the world. He's hanging out at TGI Fridays. Like, I just don't get it. Their wings weren't that good. Pigskin phone. I remember exactly what I was doing during AI step over Tyrone Lue. I know what I was doing. I was watching the game. I don't remember where, but I do. But I think that the step over of Tyrone Lue, Mitch, is like the iconic memory everyone has of AI. But my iconic memory of AI is the crossover of Jordan. That is what I remember most. This is the golden era decade Eagles run. Run off about 17 win, 2022 losing the Super Bowl, 2023 winning the Super Bowl, right? If in the next decade we don't win 2 more Super Bowls, at least, I'm going to be disappointed. Observer, without a shadow of a doubt, will be disappointed. MJ was the greatest at everything. Basketball. MJ was the greatest at everything, period. Gambling, golf. He even made it in minor league baseball. Like, people laugh at his minor league baseball run as a failure. The dude was a superstar basketball player. Said, nah, I'm going to go play baseball. And he played. And he didn't do great, but he wasn't awful minor leaguer. He hit over 200. He had a higher batting average than Kyle Schwarber does for the Phillies right now. Just saying. Like, literally, he could have gone and played hockey probably. He's a really good golfer. He's a great gambler. Well, not a great gambler in success, but he's a massive gambler. Off topic. Can you imagine Ben being Kobe's teammate? Oh, my God. If you think Ben Simmons was struggling with Jimmy Butler as a teammate and calling him out, could you imagine Kobe Bryant? My God. That would have been insanity. It really would have been. That would have been entertainment on another level right there. Imagine if AI had the players that Harden played with. Man, could you imagine AI and Joel Embiid together? AI and Jimmy Butler. Well, the problem is AI and Jimmy Butler would have had the same problem that Ben Simmons and Kobe Bryant would have had. AI hanging out at TJ Fridays while Jimmy Butler's in the gym cooking. AI wasn't more of a face due to his off-court stuff. Exactly. They didn't want to put the face of the NBA on him because of the off-court. He just needed to do that other stuff. Jalen Hurts doesn't have the off-the-court stuff. And he's got the work ethic. He's got the I still keep going back to the one thing. He's got the purpose. He wants to be thorough, deliberate, and precise in everything he does. He literally has a schedule down to the minute. And I think the NFL should be pushing him more. You know, Patrick Mahomes, he's the GOAT right now in the NFL quarterbacks. He's a top 5 quarterback all time already. But he's got his brother and he's got his wife. They're always ticked up. They're distractions sometimes. Goofballs. At least we know more about Patrick Mahomes' personality a little bit. I don't like it, but we know more about it. Jalen Hurts should be pushed front and center as the face because he gives kids something to look up to. Gives kids something to teach them. Gives parents something, like I said. Jalen Hurts, I mean, he's it. He's it. I need to swing by Philly, y'all. Yeah. If you ever swing by Philly, we're doing a live remote for the Core 12. I don't know where, but we are. Jordan lost a load at the tables in Vegas, bro. Oh, I'm sure. He lost a load betting on golf, too. I mean, the numbers I've heard. Although, I don't know if anybody's lost as much as Phil Mickelson, and you might not be a golf person, but if you don't know Phil Mickelson's gambling issues, there's a whole book done on the $100 million that Phil Mickelson has lost gambling. It's insane. Insane. He was not a good GM. He wasn't a great owner. But the greatest athlete of all time. Facts, Tyrone. He drafted Adam Morrison and Kwame Brown. Adam Morrison. There is a name I have not thought of in a very long time. He's a billionaire, and we're talking about what he did in Vegas. I mean, he can afford it. Again, anybody that said money doesn't buy happiness, obviously they weren't broke. He got plenty of money. Could you imagine? Hey, I would never have had the body type. You know, he couldn't have played in the NFL. Zero chance he could have played in the NFL, Mitch. You got to go to the gym occasionally in the NFL. You got to. And Anthony, I've been saying this since for over a year now. Since last season, he's got the Mamba mentality. When this show was on a smaller network, I was saying he's got the Mamba mentality. I've said it since day one. This article just proves it even more. The Observer, sports not saying he's bad at business, just bad at gambling. Yeah, exactly. Jordan played baseball because his father loved the sport, but it's rare for 6'6" guys to play. Look, I'm not trying to say he was a great baseball player or anything. I'm not trying to dive deep into Jordan's baseball career. Just saying he was able to go and do it. And do it considering he had been in the NBA for how long already? And hadn't played baseball in how long? And he was able to actually survive in the game? Some will say he made the minor league team because of the name value and ticket sales and whatnot. Sure. That may have influenced him making the White Sox. Sure. But he still survived out there. Hurts, better influence than Mahomes. Make your argument. Look, I didn't watch the whole Netflix series. I couldn't get through, man. The first episode or two, man, I was falling asleep. I won't lie. I couldn't get through it. But Mahomes we know more about Mahomes' personality. He's a goofball. His wife's a nut job. His brother's a bleepity bleep. And Jalen Hurts, we don't know anything about it. We don't know anything about his girl. Quiet. Keeping it simple. And that's why he's a better influence on kids these days. Because we see and hear about his work. Mahomes, we learn about his personal life. Yeah, he's a great football player, and we know all about his personal life. Jalen, we know he's becoming a great football player, and we know about his work ethic and his drive and determination because he doesn't want us to know about anything else. Priorities are different. And Jalen Hurts' priorities are perfect. And what you want to be the face of the NFL. Jalen being the face would be great if only for how it would make the... Yeah, of course. Could you imagine, not just the Cowgirl fans, but Colin Cowherd and Chris Simeo or Chris Simpleton and Dan Sillyman would have to say if he was the face of the NFL? If you think business ain't about gambling, you don't know business. Scared money, don't make money. I gotcha. Hurts has a female sports agent. He's the perfect person to help get more female fans watching the sport. And he's built an empire around him with the women he surrounded himself with. Like the whole team, his whole business team is females. And they're all powerful females. And I give him giving them the opportunity and stuff like that. And it's crazy. It's great. It really is. There are no get rich schemes. There are only get broke schemes. Warren Buffett. We're quoting Warren Buffett on this show now. Anyway, we spent a lot more time on Jalen Hurts today than I thought. We've got 30 minutes left. I'm going to work on transitioning off of Jalen Hurts a little bit. Just a little bit. We got joint practice with the COlts today. We're going to learn more about this team. Tomorrow we got Delaware Observer, Eagles beat reporter Martin Frank joining us most likely. I got to triple confirm him later today, but we'll have him giving us an updated account of what went on at practice today. Jennifer Slay's banana pudding. I don't know. I'm not a banana pudding fan, but I'll give it a shot. The Slays are awesome. Originally, Darius Slay was part of the graphic for the show for today, but then the Jalen Hurts article I read, and I had to change it up and put Jalen Hurts on the picture for the show for today. The Slays they slay it. They're where Jalen Hurts is the face of the NFL. The Slays could be the couple face of the NFL because they're so perfect. But we got, like I said, trying to move on a little bit from Jalen Hurts, a little bit. We get the joint practice today. Learn more about these final 8 to 10 roster spots. I tried doing some work on a new 53-man roster yesterday. I didn't really get it done. But seeing things that we're learning about this team, we're gonna find out more today. We'll find out more on Thursday during the final preseason game. Cut down day is only, doing the math in my head, 7 days away. And key battle, it's going to be happening at practice today. Key battle, it's going to be happening on, no, we're not talking Sixers. Unless you want to talk Sixers. If you got a Sixers point you want to make, Marshawn, I will address it. Because this show is about you. Not you specifically, but everybody in the comments. I was going to transition to the quarterback situation a little bit more. And that being one of the key things we're going to figure out today and Thursday. Can Tanner McKee supplant Marcus Mariota as quarterback too? I've said no all along because of the money. But I brought it up briefly yesterday. That what is the point of training camp and practice and the offseason? Especially for young, unproven players, to prove that they're ready. Tanner McKee is proving it. If Tanner McKee doesn't become quarterback two, it kind of eliminates the point of what we just went through. Today's the last training camp practice, officially. There won't be a practice tomorrow. Thursday's the game. They'll probably have a couple days off, and then cut downs, and then after cut downs on Tuesday, then the regular regiment of practices start happening for the regular season. The point of training camp is to earn a roster spot, earn a job. Tanner McKee has done that. So while I'm a Marcus Mariota should be the guy, Tanner McKee is doing what you're supposed to do in the offseason and in training camp. Prove he's worked hard and get that job. It's interesting. And I think that today, I think more so Thursday, could go a long way. And I want to get to something in a second. Cilio has the worst takes on all sports. He makes Skip look like, man, well, I can't stand Skip. Skip is my least favorite person of all time in sports talk. I will just say that. We'll get back to that in a second. I want to talk about this for a second. Man, yesterday, one of the competitors, the Dial, the Fanatic, it was announced that Devon Givens is leaving the Fanatic 97.5. Not fired, not cut, just leaving. And people are like, why aren't they keeping him? Why this? It just goes to show someone like Devon Givens, who's probably the smartest and one of the best talkers on that channel, can't get any traction. Because he has intelligent conversations with people. He's not a hot take artist. And he realizes his career is stalled. And all I see on social media all the time, people bashing all the major media networks. Yet I can only get 19 likes on this YouTube video and 3 on Facebook. We have a serious conversation. No hot takes, no bold, insane Dan Cilio comments. Yet Dan Cilio's show has thousands of views a day. Because hot takes is what sells. The only way to stop it, the only way that Dan Cilio doesn't get a platform, The only way someone like Devon Givens gets a major time slot, the only way I get a bigger audience is by going hot take. I don't want to do that. So the only way to do that is for everybody to stop. If you hate the people that give you hot takes all the time, don't cry that Devon Givens is leaving 97.5. Stop listening to the other people. The people that you hate, the people that you bash all the time, stop giving them the clicks. I fall for it sometimes, I know. But stop giving them the clicks. And then what will happen is the people that we like will get better opportunities. Devon Givens should have been given, not like I like Tyrone, but Devon Givens had a great opportunity to take that 2 to 6 slot. But he didn't get it because he doesn't spew these bold takes all the time. He doesn't cause controversy. It really annoys me that everybody crushes certain people, but yet they keep listening to them over and over again. Let's not talk Sixers. Okay, then we won't talk Sixers. No Sixers talk. Good. Good. Training camp is for coaches to do evals, not for content. Yeah, it's for coaches to do evals and the people they're evaluating to prove what they're worth. Tanner McKee has proven something. And yes, the only reason why, well, I have 2 reasons why I'm a Marcus Mariota guy. 1, because of the money. 2, because I'm not sure if I'm ready, if Jalen Hurts goes down for 2 or 3 games, if I'm ready for Tanner McKee to lead a Super Bowl charge. But on the flip side, he's showing 10 times what Marcus Mariota is. For Tanner, it doesn't matter with quarterbacks. He could be on the sideline and not count against the 53. See, this is what I thought, Tyrone, and maybe my research was wrong. I thought it was a 53-man roster and a 54 spot for that emergency quarterback. I double-checked yesterday, and that is inaccurate. So what I read yesterday, and I could be wrong, I read yesterday that he would have to be part of the 53. But the 47 that dress on game day, he doesn't have to be a part. He could be one of the inactives, but dress. He still has to be part of the 53-man roster. That's what I read yesterday. Because I thought, like you, Tyrone, that he could be the 54th guy, so to speak. But it's not. So he has to be part of the 53-man roster, which changes everything on my roster prediction. I troll Celio, yeah. But by trolling him, you're giving him more clicks. His impressions go up. People find him easier. Just leave him alone. If everybody just blocked Celio, if all billion people on Twitter or X or whatever just blocked him, wouldn't have a platform. Devon is the best. And he's gone. Why? Because he can't get any traction there. Because he doesn't spew hot takes. They're messing up big time there. Although now that he's gone, there might be a slot open for this guy to get on. You never know. Call 97.5. Tell him to bring the beard on the radio. Let's bring this show big time. Look at Coward if you want them. Yeah, exactly. I get so frustrated when people complain about these guys nonstop, but yet they keep giving them the time of day. ESPN is the only one I fall into that trap with. Look, I don't dislike ESPN as most do. He's got a lot of hot takes. I get that. But he does put out some good training camp work. He counts a lot of snaps, stats, and stuff like that in training camp. Fun stuff to discuss and think and mull over. Phil, cover play-by-play one Eagles game, and you'll get hundreds more. Dude, during regular season Eagles games, I average between 65 and 70 snaps or tweets a game. You want me to do a live show with my Eagles game over here and talking over here? I could do that. I could do that if you want. If you want me to do a live stream of an Eagles game, I don't know about week 1. Week 2, I'll be in Mexico. So week 3, whatever the first Eagles 1 o'clock game, if it's something people want to do, a watch-along party, I will do the first 1 o'clock Eagles game, I will do a watch-along party right here on Philadelphia Sports Network. I'll do it for you guys. And if the views and people tune in and enjoy it, I'll do multiple of them, for sure. How can I worry about myself when you got my full attention? People love watching car wrecks. They do. But Tyrone, I also agree. I also believe firmly in what one of my mission statements is, that people want a fair place to have an engaging conversation. And that's my platform. That's what I want to do. I want to give people a place where they can engage in a realistic conversation. I think we do that, especially the Core 12 here. We have an engaging conversation daily about sports. That is correct. Marshawn, apparently Derek Carr and Chris Olave. Yeah. I mean, come on. And we all fall for the trap. We do. Liam is still around. I'm trying to get Liam to do more shows. I am. He's too busy running the website and all the articles. I get, messages in the group chat about all the articles they're writing. But, those English guys, they know more about, they don't know real football. No, I'm just kidding. Liam is fantastic. And I can't be more thankful for Liam bringing me onto the Philadelphia Sports Network. I can't. No offense to my former team that I was working with, getting 5 views a day, 10 views a day, being brought in here and having an opportunity to bring my platform to a larger audience has been a dream come true for me. We're trying to change the world, one dumb ex-jock talker at a time. I got you. I get it. That was Beyond Stupid by Coward. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. You know what? Like, I think he's got. Like, I forget. There's multiple people that are below Derek Carr and Chris Olave. It's just insulting. But people click on it. People talk about it, and he's making millions of dollars on TV. Where I got to beg for $5 super chats. I'll bring Cilio around. You just wait. Yeah? Bring Cilio on this show. Get me Cilio on this show. K1. Because I'm just going to tell him he's an idiot and then take him right off the screen. the schedule. Look, the founder of PSN, he's a Brit. Hey, some of my good followers. It's funny when I do the analytics. I check the analytics of shows, and I got like 97% of the people that watch this show are in the U.S., and I got 3% of the people that watch this show are in the U.K., just so you know. So there is a U.K. following of this show. Not big, but there is. Writing proper articles. Mariota can't pass, but can run an offense with short throws and option runs. Play it safe. The thing is now, I still want to go back to this roster. Maybe I got it wrong. I really thought, dude, find me a way to get Cilio on this show. I will welcome him on this show, and then I will kick him off the show like that. I love it. I probably wouldn't, because I'd probably be like, oh, hello, Mr. Dan Cilio. Thank you for coming on the show. You idiot! And get him off the show. If Tanner McKee, the third emergency quarterback, if it's part of the 53-man roster, it's really interesting in my opinion. I thought he was the 54th guy, but it turns out the article I read yesterday was Tanner McKee would have to be part of the 53, just not the 5 that are part of the active 47. Which then means you've got to keep 3 quarterbacks. And the Eagles only kept 2 last year. They've kept 3 in the past. But if you got to keep a third quarterback, that's interesting. We've only got about 18 minutes left. I do want to bring up another topic today. And that's one Mr. Jonathan Taylor, the team we're practicing against today, the team we're playing in the preseason game on Thursday. Here in Philly, one Mr. Jonathan Taylor has been told he could seek a trade. And, of course, all Eagles fans are like, he's here in Philly. He's got a connection with Nick Sirianni. Why does he just change locker rooms sometime this week and stay in Philly? And this goes back to, Jim Irsay being an awful owner, which on another side note, did anybody catch the Josh Harris on Monday Night Football last night? Washington Commanders owner, Josh Harris, Sixers, Philadelphia 76ers owner, Josh Harris, New Jersey Devils owner, Josh Harris. The dude was lit, smashed on live TV, almost as awkward as Joe Namath trying to kiss Susie Colbert on Monday Night Football. Slurring his words, stumbling, just rambling on. Troy Aikman's just got his hands out like this when he's talking, like I do. And Josh Harris tries to high five, shake him. People in Washington are going to have a rude awakening on who Josh Harris is. Not a good sports owner at all. He is just a bad owner. Yeah, he might not be as much of an a-hole as Daniel Snyder is, as not much of a scumbag as Daniel Snyder is. But, man. Last night was embarrassing. And to know he's the Sixers owner? Oh, K1, if you didn't see it, go watch it. It's on my Twitter page. I shared a clip of it. awkward as F is all we'll say. If Mariota goes in, we'll throw the ball 3 times like the Patriots versus the Bills. It's possible. It's possible. Taylor to the Rams? Yeah, to the Eagles is not very likely. Miami, Dallas. There's a lot of teams that'll go after Jonathan Taylor. Harris says, yeah. The guy has been run into the ground. How many games did Taylor miss last year? I'm not saying Tyrone. I'm not bringing up that he should be traded for. He is going to get traded for a lot. They're going to want a Christian McCaffrey type package for Jonathan Taylor. And he was injury prone last year, but the year before he was insanely great. So he's still fairly young. The Colts are going to want a package, and Jonathan Taylor is going to want money. And the Eagles aren't going to pay him the money. We don't need Jonathan Taylor. He's a talented running back behind our offensive line. He'd put up 2,000 yards. But the Eagles aren't going to do it. I bring it up because he's here in town, because he's got connections. And, of course, Eagles fans are like, let's go get the big name. Whenever a big name becomes, Patrick Queen's available. Let's trade everything for him. Now, Patrick Queen's a guy we could use right now. But what did Christian McCaffrey go for last year? I think he went for 4 draft picks, one being a second rounder from the 49ers to Carolina. That's what you're going to have to offer. Now, Howie Roseman, being the elite GM that he is, Howie Roseman might call Indy, or not even call, walk across the practice field to Jim Irsay and be like, I'll give you Rashad Penny. I'll give you Trey Sermon and a conditional 7th round pick for Jonathan Taylor. And the way Howie will phrase it, Jim Irsay might say, done, deal. Because Howie just steals from everybody on every trade. He's a trading machine. But I'm not giving up a 2nd round pick. I'm not giving up a 3rd round pick. Someone said, would I give up a 4th round pick? And I said, probably not. Also, you got to work on the money. Now, Jonathan Taylor might say, I don't need an extension if I'm going to Philly because I want the ring. I want to help them win a Super Bowl. I'll preserve my body being part of their running back rotation. Could you imagine a Taylor Swift-Gainwell rotation? Damn. That would be elite. Behind our offensive line with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts wouldn't have to run the ball ever. I worked for a company that was bought by Josh Harris. Trust me, dude is a bad dude. I'm assuming you mean that, Anthony, in not a good way. That would be my best guess. Yeah, I'm thinking the Dolphins seem a logical place. It would be very, very Jerry Jones-ish. I mean, they're basically rolling with an injury-prone Tony Pollard, and that's it at running back right now. I could see Jerry Jones calling Jim Irsay and being like, hey, buddy, we're part of that coaching, that ownership fraternity. Give him up to me. And him trade a 1st or 2nd round pick for him. I could see him doing it. I could see Jerry Jones being like, give me Jonathan Taylor for a 2nd round pick, and then he goes and gives Jonathan Taylor $90 million. I could see it. It's a Jerry Jones type thing. Dolphins make sense for him. Buffalo makes sense for him. There's a couple teams that make sense for him. But to an extent, I fear Dallas getting him because I don't want to have to face him twice a year. But on the flip side, I don't fear the way Dallas is run as an organization. And I hope that they trade for him because it would make them worse. Who's going to trade for a $5 million a year running back in his walk season? Well, a team that thinks that they can renegotiate a long-term deal. Because that's what happened with Christian McCaffrey last year. They gave up 4 picks for him. And then they extended him to a huge, massive contract. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. Offer Irsay a 4th and an 8 ball. I don't think Howie Roseman ain't going to offer a 4th round pick for him. He'll offer a 4th round pick for Patrick Queen when Patrick Queen's worth more than that, but he won't offer a 4th round pick for him because he knows he can get him for less. The 8 ball, if you wouldn't have thrown the 8 ball in there, you might have had a deal. The 8 ball is just overdoing it a little bit. We're not saying build around a running back, but adding an elite running back to an elite offense just makes you that much more elite. It means you got to spread the ball around even more. I know you're all loving the 8 ball comment right there. I know. Um, you can't depend on any backup quarterback to be a good passer. If they were a good passer, so back to the quarterback part. If you have to keep that third quarterback on your 53-man roster, is there a scenario where Tanner McKee makes it to our practice squad? Is there a scenario where Marcus Mariota gets cut? I just don't see it. I mean, I could just leave this comment up on the screen all day. I mean, you're not wrong. Like, not even a least bit wrong at all. Come on, guys. Don't we know the Cowboys won 3 Super Bowls behind a Hall of Fame running back? In the 90s, 30 years ago. Imagine all the this is all. Marshawn, I tweeted this out last night and this morning. This is the only reason why I'd consider trading for Jonathan Taylor, for as many Taylor Swift jokes as I can make. It would be hilariously fun and a hilarious blast to be able to make Taylor Swift jokes all day long, every game. Taylor Swift in the backfield for the Eagles, split wide to Jalen Hurts. That's what I'd be doing. I'd be watching the live broadcast here. I'd be like, Taylor Swift. I would love it. It would be hilarious. It'd be fantastic. Be a reverse Herschel Walker. That's hilarious. Herschel Walker, man. I love Herschel Walker, man. He's a really solid running back. His problem, where we sometimes crush players for not living up to their big contracts. We crush Herschel because he didn't live up to the trade. But it wasn't his fault he got traded for all that. It wasn't. Jacoby Brissett can pass the ball. Saw it in my own eyes. Jacoby Brissett. There's people out there that say Jacoby Brissett's better than Jalen Hurts. James Jones. And that's pathetic. And that's pathetic beyond belief. Look out for Baltimore or KC. They're 2 interesting teams. Baltimore getting Lamar Jackson, a legit running back, to take some of the pressure off of Lamar Jackson. You just signed Lamar to a big contract and you want to keep him healthy, fresh, and happy. See that KC, I don't see Kansas City doing it. They just won a Super Bowl with Isaiah Pacheco. I love saying his name. I don't know if I say it right. And Jared McKinnon and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who was a top draft pick, become the third stringer. They just won a Super Bowl with their lead running back being a 7th rounder rookie. I don't see Casey Anthony doing it. But I could be wrong. But Baltimore, I could see more so doing it. Yeah, Baltimore. I could get behind Baltimore. Maybe in that AFC West, maybe Denver. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know where else. But I think Miami seems like a smart spot for him. Baltimore, I like it. I haven't heard anybody say Baltimore, but I like it. Brissett's as a starter. He deserves a shot somewhere. Brissett would be a bottom-end starter, but he's a great backup quarterback. And somehow, isn't he with Washington this year? Yet they're going with Sam Howell. Washington's got their hands full this year. They got Sam Howell as their quarterback and Josh Harris as their owner. Watch out for those Washington Commanders. Yeah, Taylor Swift and Kenny G. Taylor Swift singing while Kenny G's playing his sax. The jokes write themselves. Taylor Swift in the backfield, Kenny G out wide. I mean, that's the only reason why I would do it. Howie greatness only knocks one. Dude, it really is. I mean, it would be hilarious. I don't think I've ever mentioned Taylor Swift's name on this show, and I'm not actually talking about Taylor Swift. I'm talking about Jonathan Taylor and DeAndre Swift, guys, just so you know. Over who? He's not better than Yeah, Jacoby Brissett. I mean, I say Jacoby Brissett is a very good backup quarterback. Maybe one of the best to have on your team in the NFL. I wanted Jacoby Brissett, not Marcus Mariota, to be the backup of Jalen Hurts. You're talking about bringing in a backup that could transition seamlessly from Hurts to the next guy. Jacoby Brissett would have been that guy. He went to Washington for a chance to start, and then they decided to give Sam Howell the keys to the wagon. With Taylor Swift backfield, does that mean Kanye won't be a fan? I hope Kanye's not a fan of anything. Philadelphia. Has there ever been a musician have a fall quite like him? I mean, seriously, we could do a whole show on just Kanye. I swear we win the Super Bowl this year with the Taylor Swift coast. I mean, we're winning the Super Bowl this year without it. Just so you know. Taylor Swift would become a massively bigger Eagles fan instantly. All right, we're in the final 7 minutes of the show, your final 6 minutes. Work time. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you as always, Anthony. Glad to have you back with us on the regular rotation. We're going to start the wrap up anyway here. We got 5 minutes left. 20 likes on YouTube, 5 on Facebook. Those likes help so much. Jacoby Brissett is second. Nah. Don't insult Dak Prescott like that. But he might be better than Daniel Jones. He's getting paid less than Daniel Jones, I'll tell you that much. Brissett was $2 million more than at Mariota. Well, Howie Roseman should have. Do you think Tanner McKee would have the hype train he'd have if Brissett was the number 2 quarterback instead of Mariota? Like, I don't think it was for Jacoby Brissett. I don't think it was about the money, though, K1. I don't. It was about it was the same reason why Gardner Minshew went to Indy. He went there for a chance to start. But yet all these teams always want to turn their franchises, the keys to the Ferrari, well, in Washington's case, the Volkswagen Beetle, over to these young quarterbacks. Anthony Richardson, already been ruled out for Thursday's game because he's won the starting job. Anthony Richardson is going to be rough this year to watch. He is not ready to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. But yet he was a high draft pick, so they're turning the keys over. And that's not good. Exactly. Gardner Minshew and Jacoby Brissett took chances. But yet they should know better. You got a better chance of winning a title with the Eagles, being the backup, and having an opportunity to play well if Jalen Hurts goes down or when he goes down. Like, you know these teams that got young quarterbacks are going to turn the keys over sooner rather than later to these young quarterbacks. What has Sam Howell done? Nothing. He doesn't deserve it. Like, I haven't watched any of the preseason Anthony Richardson. I hoped he was playing Thursday so I could have watched him. But it turns out he's not playing. We're going to get to watch Gardner Minshew on Thursday night, which is actually kind of exciting too. I think, and it's a firm belief of mine, I talk about it all the time, NFL teams give young quarterbacks that aren't ready the keys way too soon because they got to get a return. There's no patience with their investment. They want that ROI right away. Me, when I make an investment, it's for a big picture, long term. I'm not playing the crypto game looking for a quick turnaround. I'm looking for long-term investments. But everybody wants the quick one. We get to punish Gardner for that. Look, again, I don't think Gardner Minshew played awful in that Dallas game. Put up 30 points or whatever it was. Anthony Richardson's throwing motion. Well, Shane Steichen helped turn what's his name, Justin Herbert, into a great rookie season in San Diego, then comes to Philly and turns Jalen Hurts around in 2 years. And now he's in Indy as their head coach. You might want to start putting some respect on Shane Steichen being a quarterback whisperer to an extent. The disrespect to Daniel Jones is real, but crazy nobody looks at the fact that he got paid less than all the stars. Look, I make a lot of Daniel Jones jokes for fun. He's a mid quarterback. There aren't 15 better starters in the NFL than him. But it's the fact that he got $160 million that makes the jokes just need to happen a little bit more. Nathan Peterman, the fact that he's still in the NFL is a gross incompetence of NFL scouting. That's all I'm going to say. And the Giants can get out of the Dimes deal after 2 years. Absolutely. Are still going to pay him $80 million in those 2 years. Just saying. All right, we're going to wrap up Trend in the AM right here on Philadelphia Sports Network, right there. Fun day. I didn't talk about Jalen Carter today. I didn't talk about enough about the backup quarterback situation. Like I said, most likely tomorrow, Martin Frank will be joining us. We'll have all of today's open practice to talk about tomorrow. Everything we hear, learn, read about. Make sure you check out Philadelphia Sports Network's website for up-to-date. And again, I can't preach it enough. Go watch or go read the SI article. It's on my YouTube page or my Twitter page. Share it out. Core 12. Salute. That is right. Great time as always with you guys. We had some good viewership today. We did, and yesterday. Not quite up to last week's standards, but we had a good week this week. 20 likes on YouTube, 5 on Facebook. Not bad, not bad. And not one mention from the man chatter about where's the Discord. Discord, however you even say it. That's right. Go Birds. That's how we end every show. You know, this person's been hiding in the woodwork, just listening, and closes it out perfectly. And it's a great comment to end the show on. Go Birds. Thank you for watching Trending the AM right here on Philadelphia Sports Network. I am Phil Stiefel. We'll see you tomorrow, people, at 8:15 a.m.